Shalom. So let's get back at it. Let's get back at it. Now, now, we're still dealing okay. So now, let's go. I'm going to trust my notes. I'm going to trust myself. Let's go to Deuteronomy 32. Deuteronomy 32. Okay? And all right, so now all right. Deuteronomy 32. Okay? And we're going to just read the first chapter, the first verse. Give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak. And hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. Now, there's a reason why I came to this chapter. Okay? So, the Hebrews chapter that I read in the last segment set the stage. Okay? It set the stage for my point that I'm trying to make. Right? Now, who is talking right here? Okay? It says, give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. Now, this is tricky. Now, a lot of people say that's Yah speaking. Well, ultimately, it is Yah speaking. Right? Ultimately. Right? But it's actually Moses speaking. Now, I'm going to prove it to you. It's what Yah gave him to say, but it's actually Moses speaking. Okay? Now, why is this a problem? I'm going to show you why this is a problem. I'm going to show you why this is a problem, right? This is a problem because let me show you why it's a problem. This is Deuteronomy chapter 32. Okay? Verse 1 again. Give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. Now, let us go to verse 44. Bear with me. Let us go to verse 44. And Moses came and spake all the words of this song in the ears of the people, he and Hoshea the son of Nun. Now, from the first verse to the 43rd verse, Moses was speaking a song to the children of Israel. But they're Yah's words. Right? Now wait, hold a minute here, right? So just imagine you got a rapper, right? And this rapper, he got a ghostwriter. But yet he's credited for the song. Say I write somebody a story and they go and they publish the story and collect all the proceeds. Right? How would you feel if somebody did that to you? You got two brothers competing for a beautiful woman. One of the brothers does something very much that she likes. Better yet, one of the brothers buys her a gift. She ends up liking the gift. She asks, who brought it? And your opposition says, I brought it. And you're the one that brought the gift. Right? Well, that's what Moses did here. Right? Pay attention. Pay attention, right? So, and Moses came, so chapter 1 through 43, Moses was talking, right? Talking all this high and mighty, you know. Moses started off, because mind you, Moses is the one talking, and how is Moses going to start off and say, well, this is what Yah told him to say. That's the twist. See, Yah set the man up. So Moses go down there and saying, give ear, O ye heavens? Who the hell is Moses to say, give ear, O ye heavens? Right? I'm just thinking that for a minute, right? I'm a man, and I'm coming outside, and I'm standing in the middle of the street, and I'm saying, give ear, O ye heavens. We're about to talk to the heavens. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. That's what y'all wanted him to do, right? But pay attention. Right? See, poor Moses. What a lot of people don't understand about Moses is Moses was a scapegoat. 500,000 people died at the hands of Moses. So for all of you that want to worship Moses, and you want to look so highly up, now wait. I respect Moses. Moses was a better man than I. Let me reiterate that. I have a great deal of respect for Moshe. And Moshe was a better man than me. Okay? I don't want to get beside myself here. He was a man of Yahuwah Elohim. All right? I'm not mocking Moses. Okay? He was a good man. But Moses was a scapegoat. And he was really being used by Yah. And during the whole time, the children of Israel were complaining to Moses, and Moses was like, oh my God. He kept running back and forth because he was the mediator. He was the mediator between Christ and the children of Israel. Because it was Christ. He's the Most High. He was with them. Okay? And what you need to understand is Moses kept running back and forth. This is why we needed a perfect mediator. But Moses kept running back and forth with all the murmurs and the complaining from the children of Israel. All they kept doing, just like a lot of you Negroes do today, in disbelief. You murmur and you complain and you all up in your feelings. Christ don't like that. He wants men. So, what you need to understand, right, is that this Moses really, he was only a man. He could not handle all of these people. It eventually got to the point where Christ had appointed, how many elders was it did he appoint to help him? Was it 70? Was it 90? I can't remember. But Christ appointed a council to help Moses. Now Moses oversaw Moses was over the council, but the council was over the people. I think it was like 70 Negroes, 90 Negroes. I can't remember. You can research it. Right? So he needed help, and that still wasn't enough. So for any one of you out here that think that you can lead this entire nation, you're sadly mistaken. This people is too stiff-necked. We're even worse. It's more of us now. That was only 500,000. What makes you think one man, and Moses didn't do a bad job according to the deck of cards that he was dealt. But at the end of the day, the 500,000 cats that the 500,000 cats that Christ rocked was on, that blood was on Moses. So nobody can disrespect Moses, man, because what Christ put him through, what the Most High put him through, was vicious, man. But then he goes here and he puts poor Moses in a situation here, right? And I want you to pay attention, and trust me, it's all going to come together. I know it's a weird method to my madness. I promise you, this is going to all level out. You got my word. Now, so in 44 basically tells you that Moses had came and spoke all of verse 1 to verse 43. Because it says here, and Moses came and spake all these words of the song unto the ears of the people, he and Hoshea the son of Nun. And Moses made an end of speaking all these words to Israel, to all of Israel. And he said unto them, set your hearts into all the words which I testify among you this day, which ye shall command your children to observe and do all the words of this law. All the words. All of the words of the law of Moses. How many of you, think about it, you cats today don't even remember all the laws. All you needed to do was break one. That was it. The law of Moses was a trap. It was a trap. The law of Moses was a trap. Now, it's about to get really, really interesting. I'm gonna go get my other water, and it's about to get really interesting. Telling y'all that now. Now, we just made a confirmation that Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 1, all the way to verse 43, was some words that Yah gave Moses to say, but Moses spoke the words as if they were the words of his own. Now, we go to verse 45, and Moses made an end of speaking all these words to Israel, to all of Israel. And he said unto them, set your hearts into all the words which I testify, which I. See, I want y'all to see what type of mess y'all put Moses in. All the words which I testify among you this day, which ye shall command your children to observe and do all the words of this law, for it is not a vain thing for you, because it is your life. And through this thing ye shall prolong your days in the land, whither ye go over the Jordan to possess it. Okay? Now, pay attention. Verse 48. And Yahuwah spake to Moses that self-same day, saying. So later on that day, Yah spoke to Moses the same day, a little later, basically, what he's trying to say. And he said to him, get thee up into this mountain, Abarim, unto Mount Nebo, which is the land of Moab, that is over against Jericho, and behold the land of Canaan, which I gave to the children of Israel for a possession. Listen, because a lot of y'all think y'all know Christ. Pay attention. Christ came back later that day, the same day, a little later, after Moses had made this great speech, right? All the people are looking up to Moses. See, this is what I'm trying to tell a lot of you leaders. You better be careful, because you trying to do something that your ass can't cash. You cannot lead Israel. You're not strong enough. Now, I'm not saying you can't be a leader, but if there's anybody out there that think that they're going to bring all of this people together, you know how many strong Israelites are out there? You have any idea mentally strong and physically strong? Do you know what type of man you would have to be in order to bring this whole nation to submission? Moses couldn't do it, neither can you. So, listen, this is how Christ is. You all know Christ, right? The Christians tell you, oh, Christ is so smooth. Oh, Christ. Christ give us hugs and bunny rabbits and velvet. Right? Listen to what Christ told Moses. He told him that I want you to get thee up into this mountain, Abarim, unto Mount Nebo, which is the land of Moab. And I want you to, because he had a good view, and I want you, Moses, to look at the land of Canaan, which was Israel. It was before it was called Israel. Canaan. Same place. And he told Moses, I want you to look at it. That's the land that those who were born in the wilderness that had trust. Because there was 600,000 people, roughly, give or take, that came out of Egypt. But there were children that were born in the wilderness too. Because the children of Israel made it in the wilderness. So they had children. So these children would not, they were never in bondage. They were never in the Mitzrayim, the bondage of the Egyptians, of the Pharaoh. They were born in the wilderness. Now, a lot of them took heed to the miracles of Christ that he was doing in the wilderness. But their forefathers were destroyed because they provoked Christ the destroyer. So now, that land that he told Moses to get up in that mountain and look at, he just told Moses, he said, look, that's the land that I'm going to give the children that were born in the wilderness that believed, and they were led by Joshua and Caleb. Remember, as we discussed in Hebrews, Joshua is Moses' successor. Pay attention. Okay? Now he told him to get thee up in the mountain, and you can behold the land of Canaan, which I'm going to give to the children of Israel, the ones that were born in the wilderness, so they can go over it, because they are going to see my rest. Remember in the Hebrews, he said, those that provoked me, I swore in my wrath that they would not see my rest. The ones that he swore in his wrath that did not see his rest, the rest was the land of Canaan. See, just like when we are going to go into the kingdom come, that will be considered his rest, our rest. Same thing. Right? He said, go up there, look at the land, then listen to what he tell us, nigga. You go up there in the mountain and you look at the land that they're going to possess, all this that you did for them, right? You go up there in that mountain and die. In the mount whither thou goest up. And he gathered unto thy people, and Aaron thy brother died in Mount Hor, and was gathered unto his people. Why? Why did y'all tell him to get up, be in the mountain? He said, you will only behold the land of milk and honey. You get thee up in the mountain, this is Moses, and die. Y'all know Christ? Christ told Moses. Now, he died peacefully. He didn't slaughter him or anything like that. He died peacefully. But Moses never got to go, all that Moses did, he never got to go over to the land of milk and honey, which they roamed in the wilderness for 40 years in circles. And he witnessed Christ the destroyer destroy and murk 600,000 people. Moses, you get thee up in the mountain, you will behold the land of Canaan, you will behold the land that the children of Israel will go over to possess it, and you get up there, you look at it, you get a nice glimpse at it, and you get up there and you die. Why? Because ye trespassed against me among the children of Israel at the waters of Meribah Kadesh. Excuse me. Excuse me. Right? You get up there and you die. Now, and you know what's crazy? I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. So, I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. He actually was speaking before chapter 32. Moses was actually speaking before that. He was speaking for about Moses was speaking for about 2 chapters. Hold up. So I apologize. I got this little sinus thing going on here, but so Moses was actually speaking before Deuteronomy 32. He was speaking for about 3 or 4 chapters. Right? Now, Yah told him to get up in the mountain and die, because ye trespassed against me among the children of Israel at the waters of Meribah Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin, because ye sanctified me not in the midst of the children of Israel. Yet thou shalt see the land before thee, but thou shalt not go thither unto the land which I gave the children of Israel. So remember when it says Yah came back to him the same day, later on that day, and then Yah told him, gave him this order, gave Moses this instruction, and told Moses that he need to go up in the mountain, witness the land of Israel, die, and because he did not sanctify him in the eyes of the people when he was speaking. Therefore, you shall witness the land of Canaan, witness the land of milk and honey, but you shall not go over there. You get thee up in the mountain and die, Moses. Because he did not sanctify. So all of that talking that Moses was doing, Moses never said that was Yah. He never gave Yah credit. See, one of the problems was the children that came out of Israel, the same problem that we have today. People keep looking up to men. And it's going to get deeper, okay? Now, I told you that this lesson was going to keep getting better. Now, it's going to get better than this, okay? It's going to get better than this. Now, I want you to pay attention, right? And I'm not saying this so you can watch it. I just truly believe that this lesson gets better and better and better. All right? So, now, I said this before, okay? I don't really have to say it again. Well, I was telling you that Joshua and Christ actually have the same name, relatively, for the most part, okay? Joshua's name is Yahushua, and Christ's name is Yahusha. Okay? The Shua is feminine, and the Shah is masculine. Alright? Not that Joshua was a feminine man, but the Shua means to cry out, and the Shah means is masculine. Okay? It means deliverance. Okay? Deliverer, actually. So now, let's go to Deuteronomy, okay? Now, you don't think this is the gospel. Does anybody know whether or not what I'm reading is considered the gospel? Because this is not the law of Moses that I'm reading. I'm going to show you why this is the gospel, what I just read. I'm going to show you. But for right now, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 34. Deuteronomy 34, and we're going to read 7 and 8. I'm going to trust my notes. I don't remember this. I remember the lesson. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trust my notes, right? Okay. So now, Deuteronomy 34, 7, 8, 9, and then 9 through 12. Okay, so 7 through 12. Deuteronomy 34, 7 through 12, and it reads, And Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eye was not dim, nor his natural force abated. And the children of Israel wept for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days. So the days of weeping and mourning for Moses were ended. So they cried for Moses for 30 days. "30 days you cry for one man? Really?" And Joshua, or Yahushua, the son of Nun, was full of the spirit of wisdom. And Joshua, the successor of Moses, was full of the spirit of wisdom. I'm going to tell you one thing that Moses lacked. He lacked wisdom. Moses was a good man. But Moses was hearkening. Yah chose to speak to Moses face to face. But Joshua, the successor of Moses. Now, being the successor of Moses is very important. That's very important, and you're going to see why that's going to open up too. But Joshua, the son of Nun, just like it says, he was full of the spirit of wisdom. For Moses had laid his hands upon him, and the children of Israel hearkened unto him, and did as the Lord commanded Moses. And there arose not a prophet since Israel, like unto Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face, in all the signs and the wonders, 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 in all the signs and the wonders. Like I said before, the signs and the wonders is the key to this entire message. The objective of this message is that Deuteronomy 28 was not a what if, but a prophecy. And you all have misinterpreted the Old Testament. The gospel did not originate in the New Testament. Deuteronomy chapter 34, verse 11, in all the signs and wonders which Yahuwah sent him to do in the land of Egypt to Pharaoh, and to all his servants, and to all his land, and in all that mighty hand, in all the great terror which Moses shewed in the sight of all of Israel. The problem is Yah did all that terror through a man. Moses was almost worshipped by the children of Israel. In fact, Moses was worshipped. And I'm gonna prove it. Moses was worshipped by the children of Israel. Now, I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna prove that Moses was worshipped. See, we're getting somewhere here. See, I'm trying to tell y'all where our forefathers kept going wrong over and over and over and over and over again. The children that Moses brought out of Egypt, they saw Moses do a lot of shit, man. But it wasn't really Moses. And you got to remember, whenever they bitched, murmured, and complained, who did they bitch, murmur, and complain to? Moses, because he was the mediator. And Moses was able to go to Yah and get a lot of things done, right? Moses had to connect. See, you starting to understand? Are you all starting to understand something here? Okay, I'm gonna prove to y'all. That Moses was worshipped. All right, let's move on, shall we? Now, let's go to Joshua. Let's go to the scroll of Joshua, or the scroll of Yahushua. We're going to go to 1. And we're going to go to 1 through, and it's going to be 1 through 5. This is Joshua chapter 1, 1 through 5. And we're still dealing with belief. Okay? This is still belief. Alright? The chapters 1 through 4 was pretty much about prophecy. And still up until now, chapter 5, and this is chapter 6, we're talking about belief. Okay? Joshua, chapter 1, 1 through 5. Pay attention. Now, after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that Yahuwah spoke unto Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' minister, saying, Moses my servant is dead. Now, therefore arise, go over this Jordan, thou and all this people, unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that I have given unto you. And I said unto Moses, from the wilderness and this Lebanon even unto the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and unto the great sea toward the going down of the sun shall be your coast. there shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Why did I just read that? I want everybody to pay very close attention to these words that I'm about to say. Because these words that I'm about to say are extremely, extremely important. Remember when I told you that Joshua and Christ essentially, for the most part, had the same name. Okay? Moses represented the law of Moses. Joshua, having the same name as Christ, was the one that took the children over to their rest. Now, are y'all not following me here? Are you not following me? Y'all not following me? Listen very carefully. Now, I want y'all to pay close attention to what I'm saying. Okay? Every last one of you, including myself, has to follow the commandments. But we have to do it in the way that's honorable and not attempt to do it with our own merit. If you depend on the law of Moses, even though the commandments were written with the finger of Christ, the written commandments were still considered the law of Moses because they were on stones. Stones are dead weight. The commandments that were written on the stones are good and righteous and perfect. But the metaphor is that the stones are written, that the commandments and the law of Moses was written in stone. These stones, if you try to follow the entire law of Moses, you will not succeed. Because then you are basing yourself on the law of Moses and not the righteousness of Christ. Christ told Moses, who represented the law of Moses, to get thee up in the mountain. This does not mean that the law of Moses is not valid per se, but there's a better way. Paul is trying to show us a better way. That's why a lot of people think that Paul is a false prophet, and they think that he's telling people that are foolish enough to say that Paul is a false prophet, they think that Paul is telling people not to follow the law. No, no, no. Paul followed the instructions of Elohim. He used to be a Pharisee. But when Christ met Paul on the road to Damascus, Christ straightened his ass out and chose Paul as a personal vessel. Paul was taught directly from Christ. Galatians 3:24. So the law was our guardian. I don't like that one. I'm going to go ahead and use, what does the NET say? Okay. I like the Aramaic Bible in plain English. I'm going to read the Aramaic Bible in plain English, and I'm going to read God's Words translation for Galatians 3:24. Once again, this is Galatians 3:24, and I'm going to read the Aramaic Bible in plain English, and I'm also going to read God's Words translation. Aramaic Bible in plain English says, "The written law was therefore a guide for us to the Messiah, that we would be made right by faith." God's Words translation says, "Before Christ came, Moses' law served as our guardian. Christ came so that we could receive God's approval by faith." The King James Version basically is going to say, "Wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto Christ, that we might be justified by faith." Now, if you go to John 1, John 1:17, it says, "For the law was given by Moses, but favor and truth came through Yahusha." See, faith and truth came through Christ. Favor and truth came through Christ. See, the law of Moses was a trap. Now, I don't want y'all, because see, I know how you Negroes are. Christ came on the scene and said, not one jot or one stroke from the law will come to pass until the new heaven and earth. Okay? We are still to adhere to the law of Moses. Even the blueprint said, "Woe to you scribes, Pharisees, and hypocrites. You pay mint and tithe, but you reject the weightier matters of the law. You reject the principal instructions of Torah, which is faith, love, and fear. But you should not leave." So in other words, it's also saying, but Don't dismiss the law of Moses. No one's telling you to dismiss the law of Moses. But you are not to rely on the law of Moses. You are to rely on the blood of Christ. Do not boast, and do not be high-minded of yourself, and do not think that you are following the commandments without the blood, because you're not. Do some follow the commandments better than others? Yes. But at the end of the day, you can do nothing without Yahushua HaMashiach. For without me, he said, you can do nothing. Understand that the law, Christ said, I did not come to destroy the law and the prophets. Nay, I came to magnify the law and make it honorable. See, because people break the law every day, just with their thoughts. See, you actually have to be perfect in order to dwell with Yah. That's the reason why kingdom come, he has to make a new covenant, because we're not in a new covenant. We're in a renewed covenant. So he actually has to make a new covenant where he changes our mind and we cannot sin at all. See, because we really do have to be perfect to be around him. But right now, we're in the renewed covenant, where we're not in that everlasting covenant that he's going to make, which would be the new covenant, where he completely changes our thought process and we don't even know how to sin. Nor will we no longer be in this fleshly body. We'll be in a glorified and esteemed state. Things will be different. But he still has made the covenant honorable now, so that through trust in him and not leaning on your own understanding, and trusting him in all your ways, so that he can guide you like he has always tried to guide, or I'm not going to say tried, but like he's always guided us. He's always been around. Okay? So, what you need to understand is that Moses represented the law of Moses. And he told Moses to get thee up in the mountain and die. You can look over at the land of Canaan, but you can't go. Why? Because all that speech, all that talking you was doing, you never even sanctified me. You never even let him know. I mean, come on, Moses. But Moses wasn't wise enough to do that. Joshua, somebody with the same name as Christ, was the one that led them over to the land of milk and honey. It was through Joshua that Christ gave the children of Israel rest from 40 years in circles in the wilderness. I'll be back.